Okay, this video is going to be a little bit different. As many of you may know, the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival is going to start on March 2nd of this year, and this is my tree that I'm going to be displaying during the show. And I've got the past week I've spent a little bit of time just kind of refining it and cleaning it up. This is a different kind of a bonsai exhibit, being that it's outdoors. And it runs for 10 weeks. And right now it's kind of cool in Florida. You never know what kind of weather you're going to get. You know, we could have a frost, we could have a hard freeze. So it's kind of hard to prepare for this one. So I've gone ahead and really reduced it quite a bit, because over the 10 weeks it goes through a strong, right through spring. So it goes through a strong growing season. And this thing is going to fill up very, very fast. I've actually got some heavier wire on here as well, just to do a little last minute final touches to get to the branches where I really want them. But the thing about a ficus, and by the way, this is a ficus nerfolia, it's going to hold its position quite well. So probably about a week or two into the show, I'll be able to remove the wire. And during the show, a lot of people from the local clubs go in and do maintenance. I'm one of them, so I'll probably be in one of the couple first weeks, and at that point I'll take the wire off. And again, canopies with this type of, with a ficus are so full anyway that you won't even see this interior branching. So a lot of this stuff's going to be. I just want to show you some of the final touches that I do to a bonsai before I put it on an exhibit. This is a little bit different from what you may have seen, but me personally, I just think it amplifies the tree. I think it really brings out its finest details, and it's something that I've done for the past 6 years or 7 years that I've actually had a tree at Epcot. And I just want to kind of really bring them out to you so that you might want to use them, or it might help you with your displays when you show your trees. As you can see, the pot's been cleaned. I've wired the tree into the pot. This is a clump style, so this is one solid mass of roots in here. Not a whole lot you can do, but what I did do is I took a pair of tweezers, went through, pulled out all the weeds, all the strange aerial roots, or anything that just might distract from the beauty of the tree. So it's pretty much basic, cleaned up very nicely. The pot itself is pretty dirty. So one of my videos that I've done in the past was showing you how to use walnut oil. Walnut oil is nice, but it's good for an instant photography, or if you're doing you're displaying the tree for like a weekend or so. But this is going to be outdoors. It's going to be in the elements. So what I actually use is Vaseline. And I put it on kind of thick, and I do this a couple weeks in advance. Because I need it to wear off a little bit. Otherwise, this is going to be a very slippery pot, and you're going to see a real strong shine on it. But the nice thing about it is it hides all those watermarks, and you really got to rub it in pretty good. But it hides all the watermarks. But again, like I said, it's not as nice as a shine that the walnut oil puts out. This is much more of a shiny look, and on an unglazed pot, it's pretty noticeable. So I like to get this on there, get it out in the weather, get it through a couple of weeks of being outside, and so it allows some of it to wear off. But you can see what a difference it makes already by just bringing out that darker brown, which is nice, because I like, my personal taste is to show a lot of contrast in a tree. I don't want everything to be the same color, the same muted textures. I want to have, severe contrast that don't take away from the tree, but just add to it. Show how much greener the foliage is. Show how much the purple color to the bark. And if you have everything kind of the same kind of dull look, you don't really see it as much. It doesn't draw your eye in. So I really want to make this a showpiece because there's going to be seen by a couple million people, and I really want it to shine because this is a very visually stunning and beautiful place to display trees. I'm not sure if any of you, or if all of you have been to it, but it's at the Japanese Pavilion at Epcot, and like I said, it starts in March and runs through May. So if you get the chance or the opportunity to go down and see it, please do. It's not something that you're going to be disappointed in at all. Now I've got the pot darkened up, I still have the trunk, which is kind of a muted color right now. This is such a pretty bark, the Ficus nerfolia. It's almost a purplish, and when you're watering your tree, you see it. It's a very dark color. So what I do is I get a little bit of vegetable oil, and I do this again a couple of weeks in advance to give it some time to wear down a little bit, because it's pretty noticeable right off the bat. But I've done this pretty much every year, and what I do is I get one of these pump sprayers and just fill it with vegetable oil. And the nice thing about it is you can pretty much put whatever you want in this thing and it's going to work. But all you do is kind of spray the trunk a little bit, each of the trunks. It doesn't really damage the tree at all. And you're just going to do the basic trunks or anywhere that you can visually see it. You know, across the top, on the front of the roots. And I just take a little paper towel and just kind of rub that in. And of course I'll do this a little bit more in detail, but I'm just rushing just for the video itself. So, but you can see now, look how it's changed the color of it. What we had before was we had a nice green, but then we had a muted grayish bark and a light glazed or hazed over bonsai pot. Now we've got some definite differences in the textures and the colors of this tree, which I think is enhancing it greatly. So it makes for a very stunning picture, and just amazing how much darker that is. And notice the purple in there. It wasn't even showing before, and this tree offers such a wonderful texture and color that you really want to bring that out. You gotta do what's best to show this tree and make it something that looks just visually stunning. Now, the problem what I have right now is, now that I've got a dark pot, dark trunk, these are starting to blend together. The last touch, and it's so simple. It's just adding a little bit of moss, and for some reason my moss this year has been just growing so well and just so pretty that I just had to go out and just go to a few of my trees and grab a few patches of it, and what I'll do is I'll just fill in all the gaps. But you can see now what we have is we have a dark pot with some green to break up that darkness, and really it just again enhances, calls attention to the base of the trunk, which is one of the biggest points of this tree. Having such a massive nabari, because of the way that this tree was developed and has been grown for years, you really want to call attention right down here, just how wide it is. It cleans up the pot, it hides the soil, it hides some of those roots that just aren't as pretty as they should be. And actually what it does is it just holds, one of the best benefits for this stuff is it holds the soil together, so when it's watered it doesn't wash away the soil. It just holds all together very, very well. Now I'm going to continue to work on this tree before the show, but I'm sure in the next few weeks I'll have to post a video up to show how this looks on display and how it turned out. But I just kind of want to show you through the process that, even though you think you've got a finished tree, there's always that little bit of room for improvement to really enhance the tree, make it a stunning showpiece, and I hope that helps you out with your future displays.